Yo's me, your boy, Shonen Boy here today. I'm here today to review the latest chapter of One Piece, chapter 1048, 20 years. So let's straight into this review. So the cover page for this chapter is Boule and also Cracker. They are talking about that Niji and also Reiju and Niji have come to Chocolate Town to save Yonji and Niji. I think Yonji and Niji. I can't remember their names. I'm sorry, but they all sound way too similar. But Reiju and Niji have come to save the two brothers that have been captured by the Big Mom crew, and they have arrived in Chocolate Town, and that was on last week's chapter where we saw the cover page of those two people who we saw the back of them. So yeah, so those two guys have come to save the two brothers from the Big Mom pirates, and I don't know if they'll be able to save them because there's a lot of heavy hitters in the Big Mom crew, like Katakuri and also Cracker and a bunch of other people who are still at Whole Cake. So we'll have to wait and see if they can actually save those guys. So yeah, but that is the cover page for this chapter. So let's move on. So we get to see Luffy. He's bringing down his fist down to Kaido, and he's telling Momonosuke that he has to move the island out of the way so that Luffy doesn't punch the island, and Momonosuke is like, I can't, and Momonosuke is remembering his family and everything like that, and he goes underneath the island. He tries his best to move the island out of the way, and but he can't. Then we see Kaido. He engulfs himself in flames, and he goes into his final form, flaming dragon torch mode, and it looks really damn cool. I love this panel. I love the shading and the artwork and everything like that, and I mean, he just engulfs himself in fire, and it just looks so cool. So then Luffy lets go of Kaido because he's being burnt, and he's like, ow, ow, and then Luffy starts bringing down his fist, and Kaido is like, your fist won't hurt me, you'll melt before you actually hurt me, and Luffy basically says, I'll melt, not on my watch, and he brings down his massive fist, and on the third page of the chapter, it looks like Kaido uses a flame breath or a Boro breath to shoot at Luffy's fist, and Luffy's like, and he's getting hit by some flames, and he's also remembering his training, sort of like with Hirogoro, that he trained with Hirogoro for a little while to build up his haki, to make his haki better and everything like that. And he's telling Luffy that, you call it haki, we call it Ryoro in the land of Wano and everything like that. So yeah. Then we go. Then we move away from Kaido versus Luffy to Usopp. Usopp drops Kinemon. He's trying to get away from the fire. Well, the fire has been taken care of by Jinbe and Raizo, and so yeah. So the threat of the fire has been diminished. So that's good. But then Usopp is like, sorry, Kinemon, I didn't mean to drop you. You're still breathing, right? You're still alive, aren't you? And then we see all the samurai. They're saying, they're like, Luffy, beat him, beat Kaido. We believe in you. And then Kawamatsu. I think this is from Kawamatsu's perspective. I think we go through, into a flashback of the aftermath of what happened that day when Odin was boiled alive, and we get to see all of the townspeople trying to, defend against Kaido and Orochi's takeover, and they're trying to, rebel against Kaido and Orochi. And Orochi's like, anybody who supports the Kazuki clan will be shot on sight. Anybody who doesn't submit to my will, and anybody who doesn't bow down to me, will be shot on sight, will be killed. And and then he looks at the other people. He looks at the other daimyos of all the other lands, and he's like, do you join me, or will this be war? And all the other daimyos basically look at each other and say, well, we gotta stand our ground. We've gotta try to beat these these two. Because if we don't, then, Wano is lost. And so the other daimyos of the other lands attack Kaido and Orochi, and they try to defend off Kaido and Orochi, but they all perish in the end, which is kind of sad. We did get to see a little bit about those guys, but we do get to see them again, and they're fighting Orochi and Kaido turns into his dragon form, and all the citizens of Wano try to rebel, but it doesn't work. So yeah, it's a bit sad, but yeah. Then we go on to the next page. Then we see Kaido using his breath attack on them, and then after the aftermath of that fight, we get to see the land of Wano going to ruin. We get to see it going to a barren wasteland. We get to see the factories, the pollution, the people, and the hopes and dreams have been lost to, Kaido and Orochi. There's no food, there's no water, the land is being polluted. It's, every single, child and every single man has to be, work that, for a decent living, and this is not a decent living at all. This is just like, it's just, terrible. It's like hell, and and it's all because of Orochi and everything like that. And Orochi's like, if you you guys will work until you can't work anymore, and then once you die, I'll replace you, and you should be grinding on the floor, you little maggots. That's what you deserve. And it's like, and Orochi has this seething hatred for the people of Wano, and he wants it to he wants Wano to burn and die and everything like that for what happened to his clan and everything like that. And he's like, this is your fault, you should be groveling on the ground, you maggots, and everything like that. And it's like whoa. So yeah, then we get to see Orochi. He's on fire, and he's about to attack Hiyori, and he's like, I'll take you down with me, Kuromurasaki, we'll meet again in the afterlife, and we'll have another drink. And then just as Orochi's about to attack Hiyori, Denjiro comes in with a clutch and chops off Orochi's head, and that's the end of Orochi. And we get to see some of the messages of the little boats that the people were rising up to the sky, and it says I wish Orochi would go away, and please free us from this hell. And after this, I'm pretty sure that Orochi is dead. I don't know, because honestly, from my perspective, I feel like that Denjiro coming in to slice off Orochi's head, it's cool and all, but I feel like it's a little anticlimactic. I feel like it's a little anticlimactic that this is how Orochi dies. And I don't know if he's actually really dead, because because we've seen Orochi, he you cut off one head, another head comes back in its place, and I feel like Orochi getting his head chopped off like this, I just don't see it being it ending like this. You get my point? I just don't see Orochi dying this way. He might be dead, And it's fine if he dies like this. I'm fine with Denjiro killing him and everything like that. I'm fine with it, but I just feel like it's a little anticlimactic, and I feel like he's still not actually dead. So yeah. And then at the last panel, we get to see Luffy and Kaido doing the final sort of clash, and Luffy bringing down his massive fist. And yeah, and that's the end of the chapter. So yeah. But this chapter was really good. I give it a good solid 8, maybe a 7, 8 or a 7. Like, it's a decent chapter. You know, it was setting up, like, you know, all the stuff that Orochi's done and everything like that to the land of Wano, and all the shit that the people have been through, and you know, making the factories, you know, making, you know, Wano a wasteland, polluting it, and, you know, there's no food, there's no water. He's done all these horrible things, and now Orochi is dead. Denjiro came in and killed him, and it's all over. So I think Orochi is dead now, I think, but who knows? He might come back at the very end, and there's something else that kills him, but so far it looks like Orochi is dead, and yeah. And then Kaido and Luffy are having their final clash, and it looks like we're getting to the very, very near end of this fight. Orochi has you know, been dealt with. He's dead now. He could come back alive, who knows? And Luffy and also Kaido are having their final clash. So yeah. But yeah, but this chapter was pretty good. I liked it, and yeah. But anyways, it's your boy, Shonen Boy, signing out. You know, like and subscribe, comment down below. What was your favorite part about this chapter? My favorite part was probably Kaido in his engulfed form, like his fiery engulfed form, where he engulfs himself in fire. That's pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. I'm probably gonna use that as my thumbnail. And yeah, and this chapter was really good. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, but until next time, I'll talk to you guys later, and have an awesome day. Yo, it's me, your boy, Shonen Boy, here today. I'm here today to do a discussion video on the latest chapter of One Piece, chapter 1048. This is straight into this video. So, the main two things I want to talk about is Kaido's new form and Orochi's death at the end of the chapter. So, let's start off with Kaido's new form. So, Kaido's new form, I honestly thought that it was just like he engulfed himself in fire, and he does, but it also looks like he's gotten bigger. Like, I swear Kaido has gotten bigger, and it looks like he has like a Susanoo dragon form around his actual dragon form, because if you see in the artwork on the you can see like a little head on top of the big head, and it looks like he's inside this massive dragon form, and the dragon's gotten bigger. So I didn't realize that at first. I was like, when I was reading the chapter, so that's cool. And I just love the artwork. The artwork for this chapter is really good, and I really like it. And I love just the design of, you know, Kaido's Inferno form and everything like that. It's really cool. Now, is this Kaido's awakened form? I've seen a lot of people ask, is this Kaido's, you know, awakened form? Is it, you know, because, like, you know, Luffy's gone his awakened form, Gear 5th and everything like that, and we found out he's, you know, Sun God Nika and all that sort of stuff. Is this, like, Kaido's, like, you know, awakening, like, you know, doing this Inferno sort of dragon form? I think that, yes, you can call this, I guess, his final form, his awakened form, I guess you could say. I guess you could call it that. But it's not confirmed, but I'm gonna say it's his awakened form, and it's like his final form, and this is like Kaido's strongest form, when he engulfs himself in fire, and he takes on this really massive dragon, you know, sort of form. So yeah, so honestly, this is cool. I like this, and I like how, you know, Luffy and Kaido are clashing, and it looks like this is like the last sort of clash that Kaido and Luffy are going to do. It's going to be like a test of like who is Luffy's punch going to defeat Kaido, or is Kaido's, is Luffy going to melt up? Because Kaido says, your punch won't even touch me because you'll melt up before when your punch hits me, and and then they start to like sort of clash, and Luffy hits Kaido's horns, and he has to like let go of Kaido because he's too hot and everything like that, and his fist comes down and he's punching Kaido. But yeah, so honestly, I do think that this is probably going, I don't know if we're gonna finish the fight at 1049. We might finish the fight at the very, very end of 1049, but I feel like Kaido is going to be defeated at 1050. I feel like Kaido is going to be defeated, and it has like the title card, Kaido was defeated, Luffy has won the battle, and it's at 1050, and that's when Act 3 finishes. I think that's what's going to happen. I think 1049 is going to be another chapter focused on the fight and the clash as well, but I think it's going to be focused on a couple other things, and then 1050 is going to be the final clash between Luffy and Kaido, and then Luffy defeats Kaido, and then that's where Act 3 ends, and then we move on to like Act 4, and then we wrap up Wano, and that's it. I think that's what's going to happen, and yeah. But that's what I wanted to talk about with Kaido. Let's move over to Orochi now. So Orochi is at the end of the chapter, and Denjiro comes in at the end of the chapter, and with the save, and he cuts off the last head of Orochi. Now, I said in the chapter review, if you haven't watched that video, go and watch that video, but I said in the review that I don't think that this is the end of Orochi. I don't think, because it felt a little bit anticlimactic, if you ask me. I felt like there was more to it. I know Orochi isn't that very strong or anything like that. He's just a conniving little weasel that everyone hates. I understand that, but like, I feel like his Del fruit, there has to be something to the Orochi fruit, or whatever the fruit's called. I don't think we've got the name of the fruit, and if it's a mythical zone or whatever. But we know that he, I feel like he has some type of ability or something like that to regrow heads or something like that. Or he has like a fail-safe, when he chop off a head, he can like grow back another one. Or he didn't chop off the right head or whatever. It was a fake head or something like that. I feel like that Orochi should put up more of a fight, and I just feel like that was kind of a bit anticlimactic. I mean, sure, it's cool that Denjiro came in and, sliced off Orochi's head, and, Orochi is dead now, and he saved, Hiyori, but I just feel like I feel like there's more to it. I feel like there should be more to Orochi's death, and it should be more grandiose, because Orochi's done so many, so many fucked up things to the people of Wano, and we see that in this chapter. We go through a flashback that I don't think is really necessary, because we already know all the stuff that Orochi's done to Wano, and we already know that he's fucked over Wano, really hard, and he's the people of Wano don't have any food. The people, ate those smiles. They ate those smiles, and they can't even feel sad now. They have to like constantly, laugh uncontrollably, and the weapons factories, being underneath the thumb of Kaido and also Orochi, and if you defy him, you get shot on sight. Orochi's done a lot of things to fuck over the, people of Wano. So, yeah. So, honestly, I do think that, Orochi has to die because it doesn't feel right for him to live. Like, it doesn't feel right that he would live out his life in a dungeon. I guess if he's like living in if he's living in a dungeon and he's just like scurrying around like a little rat, still living out his worthless existence, I guess that is a punishment. But I feel like he has to die. Like, I feel like he has to die, and he has to. I want the people of Wano to sort of feel that sense of Orochi is dead. Like, oh my god, Orochi is dead. Like, our dictator, our warlord, the person who made our lives shit, and the person who, did all these horrible things is finally dead. Oh my god, thank the Lord. I want the people of Wano to, feel like that. Feel a sense of, of hope, because, they feel a sense of, hopelessness, and they don't have any hope or anything like that. And if they saw Orochi dead, or if they saw the head of Orochi and everything like that, they'd be like, oh my god, Orochi is dead. That is the best news of all time. We are finally free. We are finally free of his tyranny and everything like that. And I feel like the people of Wano kind of need that, because one of my videos, what I want to see from the Wano before it ends, go and watch that video too. I said to them, that one of my points was that I want the people of Wano to be saved. I want them to see the end of Orochi, if the Scabbard's telling the people of Wano that that Orochi is dead, or showing his head or something like that, or the people of Wano, I'm pretty sure the Red Scabbard's going to tell the people of Wano that Orochi is dead and Kaido is defeated. And everything like that. I feel like that's going to happen, and I feel like the citizens of Wano are going to, the people of the Flower Capital are finally going to recognize what has just happened, and they're saved now. And I also think that they're going to finally see what's going on in the air. After the clash of Kaido and Luffy. I feel like the citizens, when they're lifting their boats up to the sky, I feel like they're going to look up, and they're going to see Onigashima, and they're going to see Luffy and Kaido so just clashing, and they're going to start panicking. I feel like that's going to happen maybe next chapter, and they finally, see the Onigashima and, what's going on, because I feel like they just, they've been not focusing on that, and I'm I'm pretty sure that the citizens of Wano should be looking up into the sky now, because Luffy and Kaido are literally clashing, and it's there's Conqueror's Haki and there's explosions and shit. I feel like they should feel the shockwave and the explosions and everything like that, and they should be looking up in the sky and start panicking, because it feels a little bit weird that they don't even know what's going on. But anyways, I do think that Orochi is dead in this chapter. I do think that his Denshiro did cut off the last head, but I feel like there's a bit more to it. I feel like it's a bit anticlimactic, and I feel like the whole flashback of what Orochi's done to Wano and how he's fucked everyone over, I feel like that was a little bit unnecessary, but I feel like it was also necessary to for the conclusion of Orochi. I feel like it was necessary for the conclusion of Orochi, but I feel like there's more to it than just Denjiro cutting off Orochi's head and that's it. I feel like that's a little bit like a little bit anticlimactic, and I don't think that Oda would really kill off one of the main villains of the arc. He doesn't really kill off any villains, honestly. He doesn't really kill off any characters. So seeing that Orochi's head has been chopped off and he's supposedly dead now, I don't think that he is dead. I could be wrong, but he might be. I don't know. Put your comments down below. Do you think Orochi is dead? I'm a bit on the fence about it. I think that he is dead, but I also don't want him to go down like this. I feel like he has to be done in a more grandiose way. I feel like he has to put up a little bit of a fight, because he didn't really put up much of a fight at all. He just kind of, all the scabbards kind of fucking killed, chopped off all of his head. Kaido chopped off his head, and then Denjiro chopped off this head. It's like he didn't put up any of a fight. I mean, I get Orochi isn't that strong, and he's just a conniving little weasel, and he's not really that strong or anything like that, but I feel like there's more to it. I feel like there's something else that we're missing here. So yeah. And I feel like this is the final clash between Luffy and Kaido. I don't think the fight's going to go on for too much longer. I feel like we're going to go... next week's chapter is going to be Luffy and Kaido still clashing and everything like that. And I feel like the citizens of the Flower Capital at the Fire Festival will finally see the skull of Onigashima, and we'll just have some padding and everything like that about what everyone else is doing and everything like that, and sort of wrapping up everyone's sort of like trying to get off the island and what's going on with everyone else. And then at the very end of next week's chapter, or the week or 1050, we're going to see the end of Luffy versus Kaido, and I'm pretty sure Luffy is going to win, and he's going to defeat Kaido, and 1050 is probably going to be the end of Act 3. That's what I think is going to happen. Put your comments down below. How do you think it's going to happen? Do you think Luffy's going to win, or do you think Kaido's going to win and the raid's going to fail and everything like that? And do you think it's going to finish at 1050? Do you think Act 3 will finish at 1050? Put your comments down below. And yeah, but that is basically all I wanted to talk about with the chapter. Amazing artwork from Oda. Pacing was pretty good. Story, it was pretty good. I enjoyed it, and I just feel like I feel like the middle part where they go into a flashback was unnecessary, but we got the conclusion of Orochi in this chapter. I still think that he might be still alive, or he might have an extra head or something like that. I'm on the fence about Orochi dying in this chapter, but we'll have to wait and see. So yeah. But anyways, it's your boy, Shonen Boy, signing out. Like and subscribe, comment down below all your thoughts on this chapter, and until next time, I'll talk to you guys later, and have an awesome day.